I'm Dickie Carr and I'm here today at the wonderful Lake John to fish the PVA bag with pellets in. Just come in to recast, and I am fishing the tea bag. Well, we call it the tea bag, the match anglers, but it's the PVA bag, and it's just a quite simple setup, as you can see. I've got a sliding bomb. Sometimes I like to put, hold on when I can find them. I've got these stops that you can put on your line to stop it sliding right up your line, but at Lake John you're not allowed to use a fixed rig, which they call it, so you just let the bomb slide up and down. Where I'm fishing over to the island, it's quite shallow, but you can see I've got a pretty heavy bomb. The reason I've got an heavy bomb is that I think with the PVA bags, once you cast to the bottom and you tighten up, especially if there's a few fish about and you're getting the odd little liner, you don't want the hook to pull away from the PVA bag. That's the reason for using the heavy bomb. But as I say, it's quite easily, I'm just using the easy to release thing. So I'll just put another one on, and I've already got one all done up, soaked in the liquid and covered in a little bit of ground bait. The ground bait just helps a few little bits come off it. It's just an attractor to help the fish to come to see your bait and come into it. Just hook it on, pull the thing down, pull that down, and that's quite easily. I've got the other rig here that I just took off, which I will put another bag on and put it to soak while I'm waiting for a bite on this one. As you see, today the fish don't seem to be feeding that well. Normally when you come here you do catch a lot more fish than being caught today, and looking round the lake there's not a lot of fish being caught, but I'm convinced they will start to feed soon. I'll just cast this out, a nice gentle cast as near to the island as I can. I'm trying to get it within about 18 inches of the island, which I'm going to flick it out now. That's just gone exactly where I want it. Now I won't move the bomb, and I'll just put the reds down on the rod rest. And as you can see, I'll try and put my legs down. I've got to where it grips in tight so that if I do decide to have a cup of tea, I've no chance of losing my rod. And I've got it so that my front rest, me rings this side, so that I can guarantee I'm not going to lose the rod. And also, if you look over to me right, you can see I've got another bank stick with a bit of foam on top. Sometimes when it's windy and you want the line to sink properly, I've got a bit of sponge with a lot of liquid on. Look at that, the tip's going well now, indications. Could be little fish knocking it about, but it's definitely not a carp bite, because everybody knows how the carp bites go. And there's so many little roach in here at the moment. They just seem to be grabbing your pellets. And the one thing I have found about Lake John is I'm using 6mm cell pellets. And you'd think when you get pestered with roach, you'd be better off putting an 8mm pellet on. But I've tried it, and the 8mm, you just never seem to catch as many fish on an 8mm, the carp, as you do on a 6mm, which is unusual, but it's just this place, you just don't catch so many on an 8mm as a 6mm. I've put that tip out and it hasn't stopped moving yet with liners and indications. Well, it's moving now. You'd pick that up and think there was a bream on there, but it's just little fish and liners knocking it. It's amazing. These are the tea bags. I like to do them at home, and a lot of people put 4mm pellets into their tea bags and that, but I prefer to use 2mm, and I like to use the cell active ones. I just like them. I think they're a nice colour, and they just seem to be right for me. So I've done all that at home. Also, I'm always tying hooks at home, and I'm a great believer in small hooks. Even if I fish the method, I still prefer to use an 18 or a 20 hook. You've got to use a pretty strong hook. I always use B911s, extra strong, and the smallest they do is an 18, so that's what I use. I always use a 6mm pellet on the hook. I just find 6mm pellets work well, and these are the ones I use. I use the cell active ones. They're a nice shape, they're nice and round, they're easy to put on and off. And as I say, I've just bit the old one off, which I shouldn't really put the old pellets in my mouth, but I do. I'll just put a new one on, I will. This is how I do it. I always prefer to use the lasso, as we call it. The reason being, a lot of people say it's slow, but once you've done it a lot, I can do it as quick as anything, and I prefer a thin piece of line like that round the pellet than a band. I think the fish can't see it, and it's easy to do. Well, done as simple as that. So I've done that. Next thing, pellet. When I can find, here it is. I've got one already done, already soaked. So I'll just put it on the needle, down like that, and pull it down. Right there, and pull that down so the hook goes in it. I mean, some people only have 1/4 inch in between the hook and the pellet, but sometimes I think it's better to have that extra little bit of length when you're using a small hook. And that's as simple as that. And that's all ready to go on. I always have 2 so that I can be quicker changing. Another little thing I do, like today, there's been as you can see, there's a bit of ripple on the water. And I want the line to sink quick, I don't want a bow in it. So what I like to do, as you can see, to my right hand side, I've got a bit of sponge, which I put a bit of washing up liquid on it, and that keeps the line sinking really well. It's a very straightforward, easy setup, and it's an enjoyable way to fish, and you normally can guarantee to catch carp doing it. Another little trick that I found that works, well, I never found out, someone else told me about it, is when you do your tea bags up at home, if you keep them in the pellets and with a bit of ground bait in, you find that they keep a lot better. So when I do my tea bags at home, I always have a bag with ground bait and the pellets in, and just leave them in that, and you find that they do keep a lot better, and you can keep them as long as you like. Right, I'm going to have a recast now. I've just pulled in. There's a bit of wind on the water, so today, as I say, I'm going to put some washing up liquid on my line with a sponge, so that when I do recast, my line sinks like a good one. Right, there we come. There seems to be a lot of weed out there today for some reason. I'll take that hook length off, which is quite easy. Got the other one, put that down. I've got one already done up, but what I'll do, I'll re-dip it again. I'll dip it into, I've got some Active 8, and I've just put a little bit of colouring in it to make it nice and orange. I've dipped that in there. And then what I do, I pick it up and I'll drop it in the ground bait. Just cover it in the ground bait. See how the ground bait sticks to it? It's just that little extra bit of attraction. Put that on. Push that tight. How easy is that? And that was quick. And the more you do it, the easier it comes. A lot of people say doing the lasso is a lot slower, but I think once you get the knack of it, it's very, very easy. Right, out we go again. All we've got to do now is try and catch a fish. Well, we've had a nice day, and I really do hope you've enjoyed some of the little tips that I'll give you, things that have worked for me over the years. So all the best and hope to see you next time.